Hello, welcome back to the Drive-In. This week we're going to be taking a look at the movie My Soul to Take from 2010. Thought I'd go back and revisit this one. I remember liking it really a whole lot back in the day. I know back when it came out it was a bit of a box office dud, directed by WeS CRaVeN. I think that was probably why a lot of people were expecting better things, maybe, because it is WeS CRaVeN. But I was one of those people that loved this film. Every time I watched it, it was a fantastic film. Kind of feels like a bit of like Final Destination in a way at times, but with a slasher thrown in the mix with a bit of a backstory on this little town. But here's a look at the cover, My Soul to Take. And I can't read what it says too well on the cover here because it's I think this is an Italian release, and I was able to get this one on eBay for a pretty good price. This clock's in at about an hour and 47 minutes, but I'll kind of briefly read what it's about here. A serial killer returns to his hometown to stalk 7 children who share the same birthday as the date he was allegedly put to rest. It kind of too feels a little bit like Shocker with the killer because he's picking off people one by one. You can kind of get the vibe that it is done by WeS CRaVeN. You kind of felt like this was trying to be maybe a rebirth of another franchise under the WeS CRaVeN banner. He also wrote the movie as well, and it stars Max. I'm not sure about the last name here. Thieriot. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. John Magaro and Denzel Whitaker. But Max Thieriot, he played the older brother in the 3 or 4 seasons. I can't remember how many seasons they had of Bates Motel. He was the older brother of Norman in that. Yeah, he's a very forgotten actor. This too has a very early debuting Michonne, the character that she plays in Walking Dead. She's in this as well. She later went on to do things with Avengers and I believe Black Panther maybe as well. But yeah, I really love this film. I was not expecting much back in the day when I watched it, but I was glad I revisited it recently. And I found out it wasn't on anything, but I ended up ordering it on Amazon Prime for the $3.79 that it's on there. And it won a very maligned award for being the worst movie, a Chainsaw Award. I don't know if that's the Chainsaw Award is equivalent to what the is it Fangoria magazine, I think, back in the day used to do the Chainsaw Awards. I don't know if they do that anymore. But you could also buy this one on Amazon.com. I was lucky to get it at a very, very reasonable price on eBay. You might want to check them out for that. It has a slew of really early on actors that I've seen in other things, but yeah, I really love this movie. I can't say enough how much I like this. The tagline goes, "Only one has the power to save their souls." And it's rated R for strong, bloody violence, which there is quite a bit of, slasher terror in this and stuff. But yeah, just something about this one. I guess this was the first film that WeS CRaVeN has both written and directed since The New Nightmare back in 1994. There's a few goofs in the movie as well that I never essentially caught before. I can't remember what they said. There was another name. It went by the name of 25 to 8. So I can kind of see why they went with My Soul to Take. This came out about 2 or 3 weeks shy of Halloween back in 2010. It was all filmed in and around Connecticut, which you kind of get that vibe once you look at the visuals and stuff out in the woods. I live in that region of the country, and the woods are very, they're right full of trees and whatnot. Like there's very little clearing and stuff in this area of the world. This production company was done by Rogue Pictures, along with Relativity Media, when they were all kind of involved in a lot of horror films back in the day. Kind of has a bit of a Scream vibe mixed with a little bit of Twilight in the sense that they are going to this high school, kind of like in Twilight, and you kind of get introduced to each character. Obviously, it's not about vampires or anything like that, but it is about a returning killer, more or less in the vein of he's trying to get revenge, much like 𝙂𝙍𝙍-𝙍𝙍-𝙍𝙍 character in Shocker with Horace Pinker. Very, very much like that. You could tell it was trying very hard to. I can't remember if this was out before Shocker, but you could kind of tell that WeS CRaVeN was kind of moving away from the Freddy Krueger character, and he wanted to introduce a new age killer, which he did. I thought he did very effectively here. The budget on this film was $25 million. It went on to gross nearly $22 million. Was considered a bit of a box office failure. Not a huge failure. I mean, it got nearly all of its budget, but as a rule of thumb, you try to double the proceeds of a film's budget, and this fell flat of that. And could have been the marketing at the time. Maybe people weren't really accepting that WeS CRaVeN was kind of going down this path again and trying to reinvent the slasher or whatever. And I don't know if it came off, because I really wasn't a big fan of The New Nightmare. I know a lot of people out there do love that film. Just wasn't for me. I thought this one was right, a step in the right direction. Yeah, if you got a chance, check this one out. I feel like this is a real guilty pleasure kind of movie. You either are going to really love it, or you're going to hate it. There's no common ground. It's no like, it was okay. It's generally a love-hate kind of thing, but yeah, this felt just like a Final Destination film to me, except with the plane crashes and all that stuff, and the whole thing centering around people's path to dying and all that, like Final Destination. But they were all targeted, much like death, but in this sense, in a slasher form. But yeah, you get a chance to check this one out. Check anywhere on the internet. I'm sure somebody has it for, streaming somewhere that maybe I overlooked. I did look on Fawsome. I didn't see it there. I looked on Tubi. I didn't see it there. Pluto as well. But yeah, this is the movie that time forgot. So give it a look and tell your friends about Gary's Movie Crypt. That used to be what my channel used to be called, Gary's Movie Crypt. It's now Gary's Horror Drive-In. I think it's a little catchier, rolls off the tongue a little better. But yeah, tell your friends about my channel, and I'll be back next week with more horror goodies or an unboxing or a haul, whatever it may be. But have a good night, good weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.